Alright, good morning. Let me get everything set up really quick and then I will talk about the setup for today and what we expect price to do. Okay, so need to mute that and copy this. Alright, so pretty much ready. I have my accounts open, everything's good right now, so let me go ahead and start you guys up. Okay, my broker's open as well. Alright. Okay. I'm going to explain my idea behind my support and resistance in a little bit, but it's nothing important. Alright, I'll just wait a few more minutes and we can talk about everything you see on the chart. Alright. Currently our bias for gold is bearish, so maybe I need to let me go ahead and put this like this. Okay. Okay, so it's just so people know that if they join late or something, we know exactly where we're going. Alright, so currently just looking at gold, and as we could see, we have our 5-minute liquidity up here that we want price to gravitate to, and then give us a signal up here for us to go down. Okay, so until that happens, we're not taking any trades, and we have about 9 minutes before we start looking for a trade. And if at 8:20 this price still hasn't broken this line, we're still gonna wait. Okay, I'm trying to make sure that the arrow is visible when we do this. Okay, so our bias is sell, right? And we could see this morning price has been going up incredibly, right? Which means it could be stalling right here and then continue up, right? It could continue up. But what we are going to do is get our 2-hour trade once it breaks up here and closes above this area and then continues going down. Okay? That's all we're waiting for. Price to close above this yellow line and then forms an engulfing candle, and we enter it there and we take our 2R, and we don't care if it continues going up after. There's also no news today, so it's going to be a really tough battle up here because price could reject and keep going up, and today could be a loss. But we're going to follow the plan, and yeah, we're just going to follow the plan. Because if we look on the daily chart, right, you will notice it's a really big candle, right? But I'm not convinced that we can't sell here. Like, yeah, maybe it is a little bit risky, but we know what gold can do, right? We know it could flip the whole day. We've seen it happen here, 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 even yesterday, where it starts really heavy in one direction, right? Like yesterday, we could have thought maybe price was going to keep going down, but look what happened. Completely reversed. So I'm not really going to say like today is definitely going to stay high. I really think what's going to happen is we're going to battle around this area of resistance, and maybe even up here, if it even gets up here, and we'll see it drop lower. Depending on where our entry is, we might lose this, we might break even, we might even win this, but if we have our take profit down here, it's very optimistic, right? Let me see, if we get a trade up here, right? If we get a trade up here, and let's assume we use the high of the day as stop loss, which is right here. Our take profit low of the day, which is down here. That is a 13-hour trade right here. And actually it's more than that because it's actually down here. So it's a 14-hour trade. And that's not to say it can't happen. It can happen, but the problem is we don't have any news today. So I'm not really optimistic that we could get a 14-hour trade. And by the way, yesterday's trade won. If you remember, we took the trade down here, right? It was over here. That one trade almost made me pass a challenge that I was also taking. In one trade, I almost passed. That's crazy, but yeah, really interesting. My live one I did close out earlier, but yeah. The trades when you hold, the trades can be really profitable, like when you hold them, but when there's no news, like I said, I think we have CPI tomorrow, which is going to be really interesting. Let me see if I can check. If CPI is tomorrow, I'm probably not going to take a CPI trade, or at least not on stream. If I do, I'm probably not going to call it out, but we could possibly take a trade tomorrow. Tonight though, there is going to be a news trade on NZD. So what you could do tonight, okay, let me tell you. I'll tell you since we're just waiting, we don't have anything to talk about. So tonight at 10 p.m., if you're around at 10 p.m., you can make a lot of money. I'll show you how. So at 10 p.m. you have official cash rate, and let me type it in chat because make sure you know. So just so other people can also, like, if they hop in late, they'll be able to. I'm not sure why. Oh, okay, I can't really type it there. Okay, give me 1 second. Let me type this. My charts are frozen because I'm typing something, so I need to copy and paste these two. 10 p.m. news. Okay, so those two, or you could choose Euro NZD, but NZD USD, and yeah, so you're selling pound NZD and NZD USD. And let me go back to my chart now, that way we can keep looking at gold really quick. Where is it? Okay, so we're back at the charts, and as you can see, we really don't have anything happening at the moment. We're just waiting. But what you want to do at 10 p.m. Well, you want to sell it just before 10 p.m. The news that comes out is gonna move the NZD by a lot, and your stop loss is gonna be 15 pips on both of them. Okay, let me type that. So you have 15 pip stop loss. Okay, and your take profit is gonna be 45 pips. So that's the idea for that news, and you're gonna win. Okay, it doesn't happen every month. It almost happens like every 2 months. So take opportunity of it. It's pretty much, I think it's better than CPI for sure. It doesn't whipsaw as much. So if you're able to take that trade, go ahead and take that tonight at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard. You're not gonna regret it. No. Okay, so on 5 minutes, right? 8 a.m. was right here, right? The last swing before 8 a.m. is up here, so we're just currently waiting for this swing high to be broken. Okay? Once that's done, we can continue. Now, if price drops all the way down here before taking out this swing high, let me go ahead and delete this risk reward. I am probably not going to take this trade if price reverses from this area right here. Okay? I know you're going to wonder, why do I have these zones here? These are just support and resistance zones, honestly. There's nothing special about these areas. If you did want to clutter your charts up with some support and resistance, I could show you. I don't mind. I could show you the way to draw the support and resistance. I just don't think it's really that necessary to where like you're going to see much use of it, you know. So, but I mean, if people want to see it, then I would do it, you know. But as far as I am concerned, we have no trade right now. I'll go back to the minute chart. There's been some good engulfing candles that have been working out before 820, so we're above 820, so now we need price to come all the way up here and then reverse. There was a nice engulfing here. Another one, I wouldn't really consider this nice. This one was okay. And we see price driving down to support, but would have been nice if price came back and closed above here, then dropped. Once we get a trade, or if we don't get a trade by like 9:20, 9:30, then I'll stop, because I'm probably going to stream a little bit longer today, just because I'm not really sure when we'll get a trade. But I did want to talk about the what do you call it? The trade tonight, because I know some of you will have time. You'll be around. So you could definitely take that trade that happens tonight at 10. It's going to be an easy trade. I'll be around as well to take it. So another thing I'm planning to do is I know some of you don't have the time to trade in the mornings. So what I'll probably do is open up a private trade copier where you'll be able to copy the trades I take. That way if you can't make it, or maybe you could make it but you don't want to, just in case you can't make it, you can have an account copying me. It will cost, because I'll only be able to have 5 people in it, because there's going to be 5 funded brokers on there, and each person will get 1 choice, because I don't want to attach 5 true Forex fund accounts, because if 5 true Forex fund accounts are taking the same trade at the exact same spot, you know, the funded challenge is going to be like, hey, wait a minute, what is this guy doing? So I'll just have 5 different accounts, like my Forex fund, 1 my Forex fund account, 1 true Forex fund account, 1 funded engineer, 1 the funded trader, and then 1 maybe like smart prop trader. And what's gonna happen is the earliest people to sign up will obviously choose whichever one, but once you get to once I have 4 people, then the last person or even the 4th person, they're gonna have to choose with whatever's left, right? So the idea is that I'll connect 4 accounts technically, because the first one has to be my account, right? And so 4 of the people will be able to join in on it. And yeah, they'll be able to copy the trades I take. Win or lose, we're gonna go through it every day. I'll probably also be risking only 0.5, but yeah, that's what's gonna happen there. But it's only gonna be for gold as well, so I won't be trading anything besides gold on it. So that's an option for people who cannot be around in the morning. But if you can be around, then I suggest you do it, you know, because you need to learn the skill to control your emotions during losses and hold yourself accountable. So here we have some movement on gold. It's really trying to make its way. I had a gold trade this morning, just when it was in support area right here. And when it reached down here and broke this level right here, I moved my stop loss to break even, which was down here. And it barely hit me out, and then now it's dropping again, which was quite annoying. I think I would have passed the challenge if I did not do that, but whatever. Now, the thing is, I don't like this movement as well, because we see prices dropping before 820, right? Which could tell us that after 820, it's selling because it wants buyers. It's looking for buyers down here. And if it can't find buyers, it's going to keep coming down until it hits some sort of support level, right? And then it's going to go up, and I see it here. It bounced off this down close candle, order block, whatever you guys call it. I think in this area, support and resistance, not support and resistance, but supply and demand would call this like a rally base rally. So it bounced off this base, and we could see it come back up here. I really don't want it to go down here and then reverse, because this could tell us that it actually wants to keep going higher. And worst case scenario, we don't get a trade, which is okay as well. It's been a long time since we haven't had a trade on gold, so that's also a possibility. Tonight's news Since we're going for a 3R, I'll probably risk 1% total, which would be 0.5 on each side. So in case both sides lose, then I lose 1%. But there's no way both sides are going to win, because the way you take this, you're hedging, right? So both sides are not going to win. One side is going to lose, and one side's going to win. So you're going to win, well, you're going to win 4R, or you could choose 3R, but you're going to lose 1R on the losing side. So you make a total of 3R or 2R if you chose the 3R. But if you're risking 1% total and you make 2R on one side, you would make 2%, right? If you're risking 1% on each side, you're making 2% profit. If you risk 1% on each side, you're just making 1%, I mean 0.5, then you're going to make 1% if you're using 2R after the loss. So it's not really crazy amount of like profits, because we're not going to be risking too much on it. But because it works, the news works, it could help you get closer to your goal for step 2. I think you're like 0 point something% in. So if price is gonna bounce here, I don't like this, because the day is overall bullish, right? What we could see happen here is price now comes in here, right? Then goes up, right? Then pretends it's gonna come back down, but then keeps going up. And that could be what happens, because it's already bouncing off of support. And obviously if it goes lower than this, it's probably not going to come back up here unless it wants to go higher. So this is not good. But we'll see. We will see. Okay. Okay. We're just waiting. That's why I didn't really say anything. Yeah, I don't know. If it breaks down here, like if it continues breaking down and then it reverses up, I don't think it's gonna reverse up here. I think maybe it will keep going higher now if it does come back up here. But we'll still take the trade because it's a valid setup. If it does break above here. Okay. Alright. So now, we could take a buy to reach up here, because I do believe it's going to come back up. But I'm not going to do that. I'll just watch. And if I do it, it would probably be a small size. I know it's going to come back up here, because price never took any liquidity before 8 a.m. It just dropped, so it has to come back up here. I just don't know how far it's going to drop before it comes back up here. Okay. Had a nice bullish engulfing right here. But usually when price creates a bullish engulfing at a support, it's going to retest it. So I think it's going to retest this level before it continues going higher, like maybe this area right here. So like it's going to come bounce here and then continue going up. I'm not taking this, by the way, just letting you know. I'm just waiting for it to come up here so we could take the actual setup. Okay. So it's retesting this level here. Now, the ideal would be for it to now reverse, hopefully come back up here to give us an entry. Wow, do you see this little bounce it's making? It really does respect, it really wants to respect price action here. Is it gonna bounce on this one too? Maybe it's gonna come down a little bit more and then continue going up. Now if you were to take a trade like, let's say you took a trade on the retest right here, right? Maybe from, would say like 31-ish, like around here, or 32. And you put stop loss maybe at like 30, right? Between 30 and 29,500. And let's say you go for a 2-hour trade, it would make sense because it's right below this area of not support, but resistance. So that would have been like, that could be a good trade to get back up here. The reason why you want to use such big stop losses, I think, on support and resistance trades, it could potentially like do this on a 1-minute time frame. But like on a 15 or 30-minute time frame, it could like reverse, and this is just a wick. So that's why. But I'm not taking trades off support and resistance. This is just like a trade idea of like, if you were trading support and resistance, this is what you would be looking for. And by no means am I saying you should take this. The other situation that can happen, right, is price is going to retest down here before it starts coming back up, but it's really looking like it's not going to be a day to trade. Looks like it's going to test a second level of support right here. Let me go ahead and remove this. Yeah. All right. Looks like it wouldn't have tagged you out of a trade yet if you were to take it up here based off support, but I would like to see it maybe, I don't know, maybe I don't see a way. Let me look at the 5-minute charts. I don't really see a way this comes back up here and then drops again all the way down here. On the 15-minute, maybe, let's see on the hourly. I could see it happening on the hourly, where it comes back up, creates a wick, and then comes down. But I don't think it goes up that high. I just don't see it. We may not be able to get a trade today. Because I feel like if it does come back up, it's just going to create new highs at this point. Because it is really bullish on the daily and stuff, so. But we'll keep waiting. We'll see. We will see what it does. And if there's no trade, it's still worth sitting here and watching it anyway. Because this is what we have to do. If we want those days, yes, every day is not going to be the same, right? Yes, we may lose like yesterday, and we may not have a trade today. But if you keep showing up, and you keep trading every day, I can guarantee you in 20 days from now, when it's July 31st, you're going to see your account balance with a bigger profit margin, because you showed up every day, even the days when there were losses, the days when there were no trades, the days when the trades happened late. You show up because you know every month, for the past 3 months, guys, for the past 3 months, it has made over 20R every month. So, and each month there was a day or two. I think last month it only had 1 day when there wasn't a trade, which was the last day of the month. But in May and April, it had several days where there was no trades, where it happened exactly like this. Price just went in the direction, never came back up. And guess what? When that happens, you just accept it. That's it. That's all you do. You accept it and come the next day. Because day by day it may look frustrating. Day by day it may look like, why did you come here and waste an hour of your time when there was no trade? That's every day it's gonna feel like that. But if you keep showing up, I guarantee you on the last day of the month and you look back at the results when you followed the rules, when you took it exactly how you're supposed to take it, and you see your account balance at the end of the month, you're gonna realize that it was worth it. But as for right now, we just wait because there's nothing going on. Let me take a look at this 30-minute. This 30-minute support zone right here. It doesn't look on the line chart. It did look a little bit. Okay. What did it look like on the hourly? On the hourly, it did look a little bit smaller, right? Okay. On the 15-minute, oh, okay, that makes sense. So on the 30-minute, it's a little bit bigger, and it looks like it would have. Okay. So far, we're just waiting. Most likely, we're not gonna get a trade. So maybe if by 9:05 we don't get a trade, I will go ahead and stop the stream. Alright. Let's see. We still have quite a long way. We have about 70 pips to go before There's also no news today, so I don't think news is gonna help us. Alright, we have about 15 minutes to see if we'll get any trades. Let me look on the 5 minute. What is the 5 and 15 minute doing? 5 minute looks good to go back up. This is pretty good. This is a good move here. We've created some sort of support down here, so maybe we see price return down here to go back up. Now, if you were a support and resistance and you put your stop loss at 29,500, you never got touched. You were still in the, it almost stopped you out, but you were still in this trade to go up, and your TP is somewhere over here. But hopefully this is the push here that we need to go back up here. Wow, look at this. I think it did find buyers down here. Okay, we'll see. I'll keep it running for another 15, 20 minutes. Hopefully this is just gold retesting these areas down here, and then it will continue up. Oh, look at this. It's definitely buying. Okay. I don't I don't know if it's even gonna make it up here, but we'll give it another 15 minutes. If in 15 minutes we don't see price here or near this level, we're just gonna call it a day. I'd rather not have a trade than force a trade, you know? There's no point in forcing a trade and, you know, risking losing that trade when we could go 0-0 today and then tomorrow win, the next day win, the following day win. So we're not gonna rush the setup. Yeah. Alright. Still nothing. Still nothing. We're just waiting patiently. We'll give it 10 more minutes. In 10 minutes it has to be at least somewhere in this area here, trying to get back up here. On a 5-minute chart, right? 8 a.m. was right here. So the previous high before 8 a.m. was right here. And this is the high that we want price to come back and break. Okay. We got about 9 more minutes. I'm still confident that if gold wants to sell off, it could come back up here before 9:30. But I'm not going to stick around till 9:30 to find out. So I like 9:10. If we don't see it trading around this area, we're just going to go ahead and end it off there. So far there's nothing going on. Once it broke support right here, it broke the last high, right? So it had this little, let me go ahead and see if I can, I'll just draw a trend line, whatever. Remove the extension and we will use that. Okay. As you can see, it had a change of character, right? Because this was the last high before the lower low. So it changed character right here. It closed above it. And then it retested this area right here. I don't know what you would call this, demand. I know some of you would call this like a order block right here. Right, it retested that order block or whatever it is. But we could start seeing price go higher, or this was a false change of character and it's just gonna go down. Because we've seen where price does this, where it goes lower high, lower low, higher low, and then it comes all the way down and breaks this level here, and then keeps going down. But since it never took out liquidity, I'm still thinking it's gonna come up. It's gonna come up. I'm not sure if we're gonna get a trade when it does come up, but we'll see. Okay, so we're just chilling right now. We don't see anything yet, and I'll give it an extra just in case it spikes up in the next 5-10 minutes. If it doesn't, then we should just end it off. Alright, I think if it's gonna keep dropping, then we'll just end it off here, guys. There's no point in trying to wait for a setup. And I know that usually we want to wait till 10, but seeing as it's so far from here, I doubt it's gonna give us a signal even by 10. Maybe the 9:30 market open will drive this all the way up here, but honestly, I'm doubting it. I'll still look at charts and I'll post in the Discord, or I'll let you guys know if I get a setup. But other than that, I think we'll end it off. But before I end it off, we'll do a quick review. Give me 1 second. Okay, so we'll take a look. So we were bearish, right, on the day, and if I go to 5 minutes, you will notice that the first swing high before 8 a.m., which was 8 a.m. was right here. The first swing high was not this one, because we don't count the 8 a.m. candle. It was this one here. Okay, and we place our line there, and between 8 and 8:20, right, between 8 and 8:20 we want price to do 3 things, which it did none of them, because it never came back up here and closed above here. Because for our entry, we want price to close above the line, right, this horizontal line, and then create a bearish engulfing. Then, and only then, we would take the signal. And for one, our take profit could have been down here, or our take profit could be 2R, which if we got a signal, our 2R would have been hit, but we didn't get a signal, so that's it. Yeah, so I mean, that's all. There's no trade set up today, which is okay. We'll be back tomorrow. CPI is tomorrow, so it may range for the whole day. Who knows? Have a nice day, guys. And yeah, just relax and we'll get more trades. It's fine. I'll talk to you guys later.